Hello, and welcome to Some News, the show that watches a week's worth of 24-hour news and gets to, some of it. Now, because the world has been a real not good lately, Crack just celebrated Happiness Week, which kept focus on positive stories and good vibes, which is very easy to do if your particular job doesn't specifically require you to watch the news, which again is, So we'll do our best to bring you only good news this week, even if some of it's f***ing this turkey who hugged a guy, or a story about a rat cafe, or a dog wedding. So, like, a dog wedding, I've heard of the old ball and chain, but this is a real tennis ball and chain. Not that, but you get the idea. So here's some good news. What the f*** is that? No, not today. It's Happiness Week. So cheer up, Pope. Eventually he left your country. God, give him a lolly and get him out of there. Beautiful. God, so cute. What a big boy. Today's a day to get excited about possibilities and advancements and find joy in people's goodness and cuteness. Like this story in which a teen in Melbourne saved a swan's life by giving it mouth to mouth. It's called swanning, and kids are doing it to feel good. And hey, did you hear about the pigeon caught flying with a tiny backpack full of drugs? I've heard of getting high, but pigeons are birds, and birds are often high altitude-wise. God, okay, look, what I really want to talk to you about is Michael Flynn refusing to adhere to a congressional subpoena, and how he's pleading the fifth, and there are intercepted cables of Russian officials talking about how they can use people in the Trump campaign to manipulate him, whether he knew about it or not. And they specifically say that they know Flynn very well. And I also want to talk about how our president recently called up and praised a guy who was doing a literal genocide. But hey, it's Happiness Week, and I'm a team player. So, oh yeah, breaking news. I've just been informed that the CBO score for the new healthcare proposals come in, and everyone likes healthcare. It keeps them alive. So, nope. Can't say that. It's, 23 million people. Just, oh God. Okay, just put a pin in that. Google it yourselves. It's important, but look, hey, some twins turned 100 last week. That's so great. I can barely make one of me smile, let alone two. I hope I have that much energy and joy when I'm old and twice. Breaking news, I've just been informed that Montana politician Greg Gianforte body slammed a journalist who'd previously investigated Gianforte for Russia ties, body slammed him, hit him, broke his glasses. Okay, that's not, yeah, we can't talk. But no, okay, so it's just, the politician lied and blamed the reporter. There was eyewitness testimony to the contrary. The politician got charged with assault and then he won. And conservatives seem to think it's okay. Regardless of your view of journalists, asking a question about the CBO score for the healthcare bill from the House, which he's running to be in, he beat up a reporter. That's nuts. A great representation of this general attitude is conservative pundit Laura Ingram's tweet. Did anyone get his lunch money stolen today and then run to tell the recess monitor? The adult equivalent, of course, being getting robbed and telling the police. How is beating someone up because you're mad a gray area? Right. Happiness Week. Violence is good? Oh, here's something cute. A rat cafe is opened up in San Francisco where diners can eat while interacting with rescued rats. Independently, Arby's has released a statement saying, "Us too, we're doing that too." Speaking of rats, mice. THC, the chemical in marijuana that gets you high on weed, has been found to help older mice with memory and maze solving. And in a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled human trial, cannabidiol, a chemical in marijuana that doesn't get you high, was found to reduce the number of convulsive seizures in children with a severe and often fatal epilepsy disorder. So good news, weed is good in even more ways than we thought, as it has many positive effects and has been found to be better than a lot of medicines currently prescribed to patients who have severe diseases and disorders and pain, contributing to the growing opioid epidemic, which is apparently supposed to be solved by Jared Kushner, real estate boy and shy pile of pencils, who is also charged with bringing peace to the Middle East, modernizing government, criminal justice reform, and being a liaison to Mexico, China, and the Muslim community. And being investigated by the FBI, along with Michael Flynn, and who knows, maybe eventually Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who, in addition to thinking that marijuana is like heroin, also, according to the Department of Justice, didn't disclose a bunch of meetings he had with Russian officials during the Trump campaign, which is something he was legally supposed to do, but, yup! Marijuana isn't the only way nature is potentially solving all of our problems for us. Scientists have discovered that a caterpillar called the wax worm eats and breaks down plastic. We previously discovered a bacteria that does the same thing, but the wax worm is able to do it 1,400 times faster than the bacteria. Ideonella sacchid... doesn't matter. F*** that bacteria. Wax worms are where it's at now. Scientists are hoping to isolate the enzyme responsible so they won't have to, toss caterpillars into the ocean. There are also machines being built that will clean large portions of the ocean, ready by 2018, designed by a 22-year-old. These entitled soft millennials, fixing major problems. Some more good news, the ozone is healing itself. Costa Rica's electricity last year was produced almost entirely from renewables. A billionaire, previously described by Forbes as a ruthless corporate raider, gave away his fortune to help save the ocean. Some news is good, you just have to find it. Like what happened this past week following a terror attack at an Ariana Grande concert in Manchester. I know, just let me, okay? The attack was a tragedy. It was bad news. And as we try to make sense of it and navigate the scary, uncertain world we find ourselves in, we can still see that nothing can stop people from helping each other when things get darkest. People came together on social media to track missing people down. This Sikh gave free cab rides to people. Communities fed people. A Holiday Inn welcomed stranded children, and following the hashtag Room for Manchester would lead you to a bunch of houses offering a safe place for survivors of the explosion to gather and contact their loved ones. Some good news! We're doing it! Following the explosion, there was Stephen Jones, the homeless man who immediately sprung into action and rushed towards the explosion to help the bleeding, crying, and disoriented people fleeing from it. He says, quote, "We are human. We still have a heart. We still have that instinct to help people out that need help, and that's what we are doing. I wouldn't be able to live with myself for walking away and leaving kids like that. We wiped blood from children's faces." End quote. If that's not enough to show the uncrushability of the human spirit, stay tuned, because social media found out about his selflessness and raised money for him. And the joint chairman of the English Premier League club West Ham United, they play European soccer, they stepped in and gave the man 6 months free rent and some money to get him on his feet. So, one down, millions of homeless people to go. But strangers helping strangers in the face of tragedy and meeting senseless, dark hatred with unconditional love. That's what I'm talking about. That's way happier than finding out why flamingos stand on one foot, or this gecko smiling with his little gecko doll buddy. That isn't as uplifting as... It's pretty good. Look how happy he is. I bet he has a cool gecko president. Well, I tried my best. A lot of things are bad, and some people are bad, but some things are good, and a lot of people are good. So, I don't know. See you next week. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to our channel, click the big C in the middle, and for more videos, click one of the 2 boxes on the right, and for notifications on when we upload more videos, click the little bell icon. That's it!